We are continuing our Marvel Marathon Madness with 2022 Morbius, a movie starring Jared Leto as Michael Morbius, the titular vampiric character from the Marvel Comics. In the film, Michael and his surrogate brother Milo are sick with a rare blood disorder. Determined to save himself, his brother, and others suffering the same fate, Dr. Morbius attempts a desperate gamble. While at first it seems to be a miraculous success, later a darkness inside him is unleashed, and Morbius wishes to aim that darkness for the good of all mankind. So, let us go ahead and jump straight into the plot. At a hospital in Greece, 10-year-old Michael Morbius welcomes his surrogate brother Lucian, whom he renames Milo. They bond over their shared blood illness and desire to be quote-unquote normal. Seeing Michael's potential, their adoptive father and hospital director, Nicholas, arranges for Michael to attend medical school in New York while he focuses on caring for Milo. 25 years later, Michael publicly declines a Nobel Prize for his work with artificial blood. His colleague Martine Bancroft discovers that Michael has secretly captured dozens of vampire bats from Costa Rica in the hopes of splicing their genes with his own to cure his condition. Michael receives funding from Milo to outfit a private mercenary vessel in international waters with his equipment. While the cure works, it transforms Michael into a vampire who kills and drains the entire crew of their blood after they attack him out of fear. Once his bloodlust subsides and he regains his senses, a horrified Michael erases all CCTV footage of his experiment before contacting authorities and jumping overboard. Michael then returns to New York and discovers he now has superhuman strength, speed, and echolocation, with his vampire bats treating him as one of their own. To control his bloodlust, he survives on his artificial blood as it gradually ceases to satisfy his needs. FBI agents Stroud and Rodriguez investigate Michael's victims and deduce that he is involved in the entire situation. Milo learns that Michael is cured but becomes furious when Michael refuses to cure him as well. While checking on a hospitalized Martine, Michael finds a dead nurse drained of her blood. Believing he was responsible, he attempts to escape but is then arrested by Stroud. In prison, he is visited by Milo and realizes that Milo took his cure and is the one that killed the nurse. Michael then escapes to confront him. An unrepentant Milo urges Michael to embrace his powers as he has. Unwilling to hurt his brother, Michael flees. Michael meets up with Martine, acquires a new lab, and develops an antibody against vampirism to stop Milo. He also plans to use it on himself. Stroud and Rodriguez find footage of one of Milo's attacks and, believing Michael's vampirism to be spreading, release it to the media. Nicholas recognizes Milo and pleads with him to stop. Angered by Nicholas's perceived preference for Michael, Milo mortally wounds him. Michael arrives too late to save him, while Milo also mortally wounds Martine. Martine unfortunately dies in Michael's arms, forcing him to drink her blood. Michael then summons an army of bats to restrain Milo and manages to inject the antibody. Milo dies and Michael flees off with the bats, mourning his loved ones and embracing his identity as a vampire. Unbeknownst to him, Martine is resurrected, having ingested a drop of Michael's blood as he fed on her. And then finally, in a ridiculous, completely nonsensical mid-credit scene, Adrian Toomes from Spider-Man Homecoming is transported to Michael's universe from his own due to the events in Spider-Man No Way Home. Surmising that Spider-Man is somehow responsible for this, Toomes approaches the fugitive Michael and suggests that they form a team. Well, that was quite the ride. The entire thing was really weird. Like, what they were thinking when they greenlit this ridiculousness kind of weird. It feels like this movie is about 16 years too late and should have been released during the early 2000s. Maybe then it would have a better shot at being enjoyable or maybe appreciated? I don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about it. It is really mundane and honestly just bad all around. Maybe with a few tiny moments of fun, if I can call it that. But otherwise, this feels exactly like what Sony loves to do. create a goofy film in the hopes of bringing about their dream of a Sinister Six movie. I honestly do not understand the absolute raging obsession that those executives have to that concept. The thing is, it's this. In order to build a towering skyscraper, you first must have an incredibly sturdy and grounded foundation. And no matter how many times Sony does it, they always seem to fumble the ball on that. The nonsense story and plot, the horrid writing, and the uninspired CGI and effects make this entire ride quite off-putting. When it comes to it, this movie is not good. Simple as that. Although I guess some people may find it enjoyable, and I'm really happy for them. So in the end, at least for me personally, I'm giving it a 2 out of 10. Now, the next movie I will cover will be 2024 Madam Web, so stay tuned, and please do consider hitting the like button and subscribing. I would truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for spending your time with me. Until our next adventure, y'all stay classy.